I run just a 10-minute mile on the treadmill. Then there's like a 3-minute cool down. So by the time it's all done, it's like 1.2 miles or whatever. This other gym is 1.1 miles from my house. I could run there and then run home.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I doubt they have the tanners, the massage chairs that you so like.
I'm going there to lift.
Yeah, that's...
Going there to get swole.
Listen, I'm there to pump. I don't care about anything else going on other than my pump.
Katie's water breaks during that movie. I'm not going with you guys to help. God help her if it makes more noise than opening up a bag of candy.
Keep it down. Bradley and Gaga are struggling. I'm trying to will their relationship through this strife, and you're complaining about a little water under your seat.
Man, you're getting pretty good at this piano thing.
Yeah, I'm one-handed now, Steve.
Couldn't even tell that was you playing.
I'm double, I'm multitasking right now.
Yeah, what else are you doing?
Oh, I'm just searching through our own Redbubble page. But so I only had time to use one hand for the start of this. Now I've let K-Mac pick up the slack. Now It's still insulting that after all this hubbub, my message to him was, "Yeah, I don't know, man. It was kind of a throwaway piece of garbage. I didn't save anything from that."
I like how that's evolved over time. Because his initial response was, "Hey, sorry. I think it was just a quick session." And now it's, "Yeah, I don't know. It's a throwaway piece of garbage."
While you bother, I think I unfollowed him already again, too. I don't need that clogging up our feed.
Yeah, we're speaking of K-Mac, Kevin MacLeod, the man behind this song, Malt Shop Bop, royalty-free music. Kevin MacLeod he's a bit of a celebrity on the internet when it comes to royalty-free music.
Yeah, apparently he is. I mean, didn't he have a Wikipedia page?
He did.
I still want to talk to this guy.
I'd be really interested to know, like, what his life is like. I mean, does he get recognized? Like, does he show up at Comic-Con? Is he on a panel? Do people know who he is other than, like, nerdy gamers who want to upload 2 minutes of their best kills from Call of Duty and need a backing track to go behind it?
Well, weren't we going to follow him to something called PenguinCon? Or Penguin Fest? You and me were going to go crash K-Mac at PenguinCon?
Boy, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Because you were looking up, like, what it was?
Oh, boy. I don't know. Look, I sit here and I listen to the intro play every week, and I'm like, these guys are funny. Who are they? Because I don't remember anything that happens.
Someone's got to remember a PenguinCon.
PenguinCon.
A quick Twitter search of PenguinCon brings up nothing.
Okay, so...
But I remember
was not highly attended.
There was a point where you were looking through, like, PenguinCon 2018, not for profit. It was in May in Southfield. We were absolutely going to go. PenguinCon, I mean, look at the header image. It's a man wearing a helmet.
A helmet made out of, what is that, like foil?
Well, it's all homemade, Steve. PenguinCon 2018, open source software and hardware, sci-fi gaming, DIY, cosplay, and more.
Boy, that's a lot.
They're covering...
Wait, DIY is on its own? It's not like DIY cosplay?
No, it is. So, on its own, open source software and hardware.
Yeah.
That's collective, obviously. You don't want to look like an idiot doing just software.
Sure. Yeah.
Can you imagine walking up to a table? This idiot's just got just software.
Oh, cool. You got a floppy disk? Or just RAM?
What is... They've got science fiction just by itself, gaming.
All right. I think so far everything at least falls into the category of like computer games and
I guess,
adventure. Yeah. So everything's good so far.
Because for the the software people, you're trying to sell whatever to the gamers,
sure.
right? DIY.
Okay, so next to them, like next to the software and hardware sci-fi game table, is going to be like a guy selling Mighty Putty, so I can glue bricks together that fall apart.
Maybe we've got it all wrong. Maybe it's like a signing by the beard from this old house. What's the big guy's name? Or is he still
Norm.
there? Is Norm still around? Norm's still kicking?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a Norm signing.
But Norm is like dressed as a bumblebee with lasers for reasons unknown.
I feel like
he's into cosplay.
Yeah, I'm here just as a fan too. Figured I'd sign some.
Yeah, figured I'd knock out sign a couple wooden balusters that I made on my lathe.
Yeah, a couple of people have brought their spindles. Been signing those. But no, look, this is actually not a bad. This was in May this past year.
So we missed it.
So listen to this Friday docket. Like, I don't even know if we'd have time to eat.
Okay.
Because we would have to get at 4 p.m. either we'd have to choose, first of all, from the Firefly escape room or the Harry Potter escape room.
Oh boy, that's 2 escape rooms that I would like to not be involved in.
Okay, well then we can skip them because that leaves us plenty of time for the Alien Artifacts panel with Jim Sheridan. Everybody knows Jim.
Of course, JS.
You're in the Alien Artifact neighborhood. Jim's a household name.
Household name.
We could do that and get out just in time to hit the DIY electric car edition.
Whoa, hold on.
Come learn about the Avenger GT EV, an electric vehicle built by our featured guest Chad Sinke from Scratch. Now, Scratch is in all caps. I don't know if they're just really impressed.
Chad Sinke is there?
The Chad
from
Sinke.
Scratch?
Now, it's important to say, I don't know if Scratch is an organization.
I'm sure it is.
Or if they're just like, he built this from scratch, which makes...
Wait, read the sentence again.
Come learn about the Avenger GT EV, an electric vehicle built by our featured guest, Chad Sinke from Scratch.
Oh,
But Scratch is all capitals.
Oh.
Google Scratch in all capitals. See what you get. Is that going to help? Scratch electric car? Is there just going to be a kit?
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to make an electric car from scratch? Is that our next adventure?
Yeah.
Now, I'd be down for that. You and me, it'd be like the size of like a Veo or a Fit.
Let's see. Oh, scratch.mit.edu/electric car simulator.
That's what it is. So he's from MIT. Chad Siggy, it sounds like.
Okay.
He'll talk about why he did it, how he did it, how you can build your own car too. Ooh. If you're interested in electric vehicles, engineering, or just awesome DIY, this is a panel.
I'm interested in all of that.
What's one of those kits cost, you think? Now, you and I, we don't have any projects in the hopper. You got the Jeep thing going on. We'll get to that in a little bit. We've got APS 4.0. We'll also get to a little discussion on that in a little bit. But think about it. You, me, you've got your scooter. You clear out a little space in that garage for what's sure to be the dumbest looking electric car known to man.
It's going to look like a boot.
We slap our logo on it in a big old piece of vinyl.
Can you, no better time to start building an electric car than right before winter in Michigan. I mean.
Hey, Steve. Battery died on the way to your house to record again. Yeah, no, I didn't warm it up. No, I know, Steve.
All right, it's Monday, September 24th, 2018, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. And
we need to go to this next year.
Do they have a 2019 date yet?
Not yet. It's early.
PenguinCon?
PenguinCon. I don't know what that means. I'm sure some software people are snickering at us because Penguin's probably the new Safari or Opera or whatever all these browsers and operating systems are.
Sure.
Hey, OS Tiger Skin 11. You don't have it, you big dummy?
You got penguined.
I don't know. Whatever. Okay, we needed to go to this next year because for something
it seems like so much is going on there. We need to be a part of it.
This is the day one schedule. Look at all these.
That's a lot.
This is just 4,
And where
5,
is
and
this
6
at?
o'clock. It's in Southfield, Michigan. I'm sure in the lobby of a hotel.
Okay.
Unsuspecting patrons just staying there for a night to get their kids some time in the swimming pool.
You need to set up like a Google alert for anytime something about PenguinCon 2019
PenguinCon. I will do that.
is announced.
Here's one question I have for you in regards to that, Steve.
Sure.
How do I set up a Google alert?
Well, first you Google, how do I set up a Google alert?
Okay, you think that'll get me down
Follow
the rabbit hole?
Yeah, you got this.
Well, I'm glad you helped me out there.
So, we have a lot to talk about.
Do we?
No, we sure don't. This may actually be the least prepared we've ever been for a podcast, but we're going to forge ahead anyway.
Yeah, it's
the one big thing we do need to talk about. There were a couple tweets in the last week saying, "Hey, what's the update on the Billboard?" The Billboard is happening.
Sorry. Oh, it's happening yet?
Now, the Billboard is definitely happening. It wasn't as easy of a process as we would have hoped. It wasn't just like, all right, we'll take this date and here's our logo, slap it up there. So we've been emailing back and forth with our buddy Joe.
That's the senior account executive, Joe.
Senior account executive. We went straight to the top.
Yeah.
We weren't going to deal with any junior execs or like a sales assistant. No.
We knew, they knew when we met, when we called and emailed, you don't throw a couple of whales to the tuna fishermen. Okay?
Do you remember how awkward the beginning of that phone call was?
Joe, why don't we have that on standby?
When we said, yeah, Joe, we were interested in a billboard for our podcast. We want it to be in this town in Ohio. And we have a couple questions, hoping you could answer them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Whoa, boy, that was a strangely awkward silence.
I am trying to find it because I still have it. I saved it because it's burned into my brain because I thought the Billboard dream died in those 2 seconds.
Yeah, I almost hung up.
And
I said, never mind, wrong number, bye.
If you had hung up, you would have been the idiot who had to call back.
Sorry, bad connection.
Boy, you're not going to hit.
So, yeah, this is happening. I don't know. I would love to say we'll have all the specifics next week, but I don't know. I don't know if we will. It seems as though our dreams of having this billboard up in the fall completely dashed, both because of timeline and because of all right, that's the cat. Both because of timeline and because of your impending fatherhood.
Yeah, it's putting a tiny wrench into the initial time frame. Now, that is nobody's fault other than our own. We have had plenty of lead time with this. This crowdfunding ended in May.
No.
I think it ended May 28th. I think it ended like the day we recorded, like after your birthday or something.
No way. I would have said August.
No, because it ended in May. Oh, no, it ended in June because, remember, we nearly lost all of the money because we didn't connect a bank account to it.
Right. Not for lack of trying, though. I tried 4 different times to link my account to it.
Steve doesn't know his own banking information.
Every time it just said, nope, sorry, that number's invalid. Oh, all right.
He lets the wife take care of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't worry about. You can't worry yourself with the finances.
No, I'm the creative mind.
You just
she's the nuts and bolts, the X's and O's.
So in this household, Steve, you're the creative mind, and that is brought us this. And you're saying the nuts and bolts is the one who can play a handful of instruments?
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't agree with me on that because...
hey, I know what we're doing here on a weekly basis.
Because according to you, playing instruments is just looking at a chart, seeing a symbol, and plucking a...
Boy, it really is, now that you mention it again. Oh, boy, I have that sound. Do you have... or can I borrow that connection cable, Steve?
Yeah. This is... hold on, let me bring them down.
Because this is... It deserves to live on forever, to remember the way that Steve interacted with senior account executive Joe for the very first time.
Steve and Kyle calling from the Steve and Kyle podcast. We had called you a couple weeks ago. We're trying to get information and all the specifics for a billboard in, I believe it was Van Wert, Ohio.
Okay.
Good God,
that was it too. You'd think I cut off after okay, and you left it or I left it, and then he probably carried on after. No, that was the last thing Joe said.
Yeah.
He needed more information than this that Steve already gave him.
Steve and Kyle calling from the Steve and Kyle podcast.
That's already our names.
Right. How many other possibilities? He's not confusing us with anyone else.
Yeah. And did we already interact with him at this point? I think he had already emailed because we knew his name. Or did they just transfer us to him?
I'm not sure.
Called you a couple weeks ago. We're trying to get...
Yeah, called you a couple of weeks ago. We had already spoken to Joe in one form.
Information and all the specifics for a billboard in, I believe it was Van Wert, Ohio.
Okay.
1.7 seconds of him thinking...
But it felt like an eternity.
Of him thinking, should I go down this rabbit hole? Or should I just ignore these two jerks? Like most everybody will.
Oh boy, that sounded good.
That's unpleasant.
So yeah, we are working with Joe.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
So well, here's the details we have.
Not really sooner. Hopefully, because we didn't want it to be in January or February.
Yeah, for travel.
Since we're probably not going to get the fall like we wanted. So I think we're looking at March, which is good. Gives everybody ample time to arrange travel so they can meet us there.
Gives us time to get on the marquee at Frickers.
Yeah.
Frickers Chicken.
See, the downside is the ponds are probably going to be pretty frozen over at that point.
You think in March?
Yeah.
Maybe we get an early thaw?
Yeah.
Now listen, I believe
the scum is not going to be the scummiest it's ever been.
I believe it was Patrick, who is our listener and friend of the show.
Marvelous
who lives,
Patrick?
No, Marvelous Patrick, I believe, rest in peace.
He died.
Listen, there's one thing that can be said. If you communicate with Steve, you're going to die.
Buy that shirt.
Yeah, buy that shirt at our shop.
StephenKyle.com.
But I believe...
Have we sold anything lately?
No, been a while. I believe...
Get that merch. StephenKyle.com, click on the merch button.
Or if you're on mobile, don't, because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, redbubble.com/people.
Yep. / Steve and Kyle.
Kyle.
God, there's got to be a better way to do that. Maybe we can figure something out because we are we've communicated with the man who bought our domain space.
Yeah, I'm sure that the difficult web address is why people aren't buying stuff.
Can't believe it. We're making these people jump through hoops, Steve, and that's wildly uncalled for.
That's what's happening.
But yeah, please keep sending us your pictures if you've bought it. Now we have made a handful of purchases: stickers, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups. So people have sent us pictures. We need to start retweeting those and sending those out because it looks great.
And remember, the all the proceeds, the money that we make off of it, all goes to APS 4.0.
Mm-hmm. Every dime until the APS is created goes right to the creation of that. But maybe we can have Patrick, who works in Van Wert, Ohio, maybe go collect some fall pond scum.
Oh, yeah, and just keep it in the hottest place in your house.
Yeah.
Like right next to the furnace or something.
Want that stuff like at a boil when we're finally down there in March.
Can Patrick, if you're listening, can you be like our sales force, our on-the-ground folk, to go out to Frickers, see if they'd be interested in a live podcast?
Maybe we need to send him a bundle of these Redbubble stickers.
Oh, yeah.
And just like maybe he stops into Frickers once a week, because now we have months. He stops into Frickers once a week, leaves a sticker in a different place.
Either that or he shows up and says, "Hey, Steve and Kyle podcast is here tonight, right?" Yeah. And then they say, "What?" And then after about the fourth or fifth time, they start realizing, I don't know who these Steve and Kyle guys are, but we need them here. We got to book them.
We've got a guy. Yeah. Like Wednesday night, nobody else is coming to Frickers.
I'm not doing a Wednesday. It's got to be a Friday or Saturday.
And prime time Frickers, okay, management? We're not doing your 5 p.m. your matinee slot.
No.
Okay? We're not your first run podcast. We've been doing this a while.
We got 113 episodes on
and just as many listeners to boot.
So I'd mentioned that any proceeds go to APS 4.0.
Yeah. Now this is gone.
What would you say? I told you I got an APS 4.0 update. I think, by the way, I think that this episode is just going to be a bunch of updates.
Well, it's long overdue. I would call you a liar, Steve, and here's the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
In the duration we've talked about APS 4.0. Now, I know I've asked you before. You've moved into this home last November?
No, it's been almost exactly a year.
So October or late September?
Yeah, September.
Okay. We brought up APS 4.0 pretty quickly. I brought it up a couple of times. The estimated time, and I mean, if somebody wants to get the numbers down, they can do a little chart. I believe the estimated completion date went from 2020. No, it actually started in 2019. Mm-hmm. The last time, up until a month ago, we received an update when I brought up APS 4.0. The completion date had been moved rather aggressively to 2020 never.
Yeah.
So when you sit across this folding table of ours today and tell me you have an APS 4.0 update,
you just don't believe me.
One, I'm stunned because I wasn't involved in this update. Mm-hmm. And two, I just don't believe you. Unless the update, and here's what's more likely in my mind. You're moving. You've decided, you've done the floors, you've done the trim, you've got paint.
I feel
you let your lawn go to death.
That is always a possibility.
Yeah.
When we moved in, we said, this is our forever home.
Uh-huh.
And in the last week, I've said the words, I really hate this house.
Oh, no.
Yeah, due to some DIY projects gone wrong.
What? Okay, what's going on? Because that's my bag. So if you're stepping on my toes with DIY gone wrong.
I think at one point I slammed a wrench down on the floor and said, what am I, Kyle?
Huh, that would hurt.
Well,
I mean, if
right.
I mean, if that happened.
I mean, I could have said Lyle.
I mean, because that would mean obviously I'm poor at DIY, and I don't know if I need to mention. I mean, I built a bookcase, just two hands.
That's it.
And a drill,
hammer, saw.
So what am I sawing? You kidding me? The Home Improvement store do that.
That's right. Well, didn't you have to take something apart and cut a board?
Listen, I had to redo a lot of it. And the gaps aren't even, Steve. That's not the point. I'm telling you, I'm a recovered man in DIY. I've been doing it all myself lately. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be hanging some shelves soon. God help me. Shelves. I've got to hang some decorations in the nursery.
Yeah.
No chance that ends up even.
Yeah. I appreciate your service out there.
Me, in order, me, mm-hmm. Postal workers.
Oh, boy.
Marines.
Okay, not just a blanket statement of military in general.
Let's all be honest about the rest of the military, Steve.
All right.
They're all looking up to the Marines, according to the commercials.
Are they? I don't think
those commercials make them look so regal, right? They're like, the Marines, we change you from inside out, and we look down on all the other peasants.
And they have those, they're snappy dressers, too, the Marines. When they're wearing those whites, the I don't know, like the dress whites.
Dress whatever, yeah.
They look good.
Could you be... Now, this is getting off the rails immediately.
This is like a tangent to a tangent to a tangent.
If we've ever needed the beeper that we've discussed in the past to get us back on track. But
I'm already lost. I don't know where.
But I need to ask you this. Do you think, because I'm unfamiliar with the process, now when you were if you're drafted, Vietnam beforehand, could you be drafted into any branch? Like, could you be drafted into the Marines? Because that's like turning over the tarot card of death. Like, you're just sitting there like, Coast Guard Air Force. Come on. And then they turn over Marine Corps. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to be, doing all the heavy lifting. Oh, and don't mind me just breaking me down mentally and rebuilding me the way I need to be.
So you think that would be during Vietnam? You think that being drafted into the Marines, again, we don't know if that's a thing that happened.
No idea.
You think that would be worse than the Army? Because I think Army, for a fact that you're going.
Yeah. But I feel like the Army's so much more diverse in terms of jobs. Like, you could be sending a telegram. You're a communications officer in the Army. But I feel like if you're drafted into the Marines, they don't have those guys. You're not the radio operator for the Marines. No, you're drafted to be an ass kicker, and that's it. You're dropping in on a parachute, and you're doing somersaults as you land. You're landing on a Viet Cong helmet.
Charlie.
Landing on a Charlie hotbed and smoking them out. You know?
All right.
Okay, so one step backward from that, we were talking about...
Dress whites.
Right before that, we were talking about the APS.
How did we go
that's a logical conclusion, Steve. You called me. You said, thank you for your service.
Okay.
And we were talking...
DIY. There was DIY fails in the middle.
So to get back, you're welcome.
I don't even remember what I'm...
You said you've been failing at some DIY around the home.
Oh, yeah.
You said you slammed your wrench down and thought about it, but didn't say the very cruel words of "What am I, Kyle?" Or "What am I, Kyle?" is a little more rude than "Who am I, Kyle?" I guess. Like if I were to compare the two, I'd take the latter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you didn't say that, but you thought, boy, I could have.
Mm-hmm.
In frustrations, you threw a wrench down. What? Yeah. Are you still doing? Now, I saw you had your hipster lights up last week when I took a look.
Yep.
You've covered one of your outlet holes, I guess you can call it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not related to that.
No, that was an issue. I think I talked about that last week.
Yeah, you told me about that. That was off air.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Drilled all the holes in the wrong spot.
Oh, no, maybe it was on there.
I thought it was. Somehow managed to fix it.
What's bugging you now?
Well, the next thing we had to get a new refrigerator, so we
It's a big deal.
Yeah, well, the one that we had was getting really loud, like to the point where I could hear it while I was upstairs laying in bed.
Middle of the night
when the compressor would kick on. So we ordered a new refrigerator. Showed up, and before it showed up, it was supposed to get here last Thursday. So we wanted to get the old one out into the garage. So I had to disconnect the water line. Came down in the basement. I'm like, I know where the shutoff is for this. Shut it off. Yell upstairs. It's shut off, right? No. Okay. I tried to turn it even more. It didn't work. Finally, we just gave up on it. And I stretched the plastic hose that goes to the refrigerator across the kitchen and ran it right into the sink.
Okay.
So
you fixed that issue.
So for about 18 hours or so, it was just it was running. So we were just dumping water into the sink right down the drain. But I figured, I don't care. I've spent the last 2 months watering my lawn for no reason, wasting that water. What's another, I don't know, I probably wasted 50 gallons that day. And then I finally figured out how to shut the water off completely.
To the whole house?
No, to the...
just to the... Okay.
Yeah. And then... But now it leaks, so there's a puddle in the other room down here in the basement.
You just gotta run that hose again.
Yeah.
Just find a different sink. Maybe get a longer hose.
I think I'm just going to light the house on fire. I'm so sick of it. I hate it. I don't like it. It's just...
between this and the lawn, for God's sake. I mean, this thing's a irreparable disaster at this point.
Then the fridge shows up. It's got a dent in it.
Did you buy it from the Scratch and Dent Center then?
No, we bought it from the non-Scratch and Dent new store.
The new fridge facility?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did they notice it? Now, is this one you noticed after you brought it inside? Did they notice when they unwrapped it?
No, they noticed it before they even got to the house.
They came anyway.
Well, here's what happened.
They haggle you?
We went to the... originally, we were going to go to the local store here and order it, which we did, and then we canceled the order because we realized, if we go online and order it, we can use this coupon code, save 10%, which is a pretty significant amount of money.
On a fridge, yeah.
On a fridge, yeah. A lot of money. So we ordered the thing. So I go online to the website, and you know how when you go to the big box store website, it pulls up your local store.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So there I am. I got my local store pulled up. Go through everything, figure out exactly what we want, buy it. Cool. Done. It's going to be delivered in a week. All right, great. We're excited. Getting a new fridge finally. Well, I get the confirmation email a few days later saying that the order has been processed and that it is going to be delivered. Like the order is being fulfilled by a store about an hour from here. And I thought, that's weird. Why would it?
That doesn't seem accurate.
So I thought, hey, whatever. It's my receipt shows that I paid for it at the local store or through the local store's website. So I figured, okay, well, maybe that's like their main shipping hub. Maybe all the special orders or big orders or whatever. Maybe it's just the brand that I ordered. They only deliver. I don't care. Not my problem. So the day before they call and say, okay, it's going to be delivered tomorrow. They'll call you in the morning with a delivery window. Sounds good. So they called Annette the morning it was supposed to be delivered. They called her and said, yeah, we're down a driver and you guys are like an hour away. So do you think we could just deliver it like next week? And Annette just goes, no, you can't. It's not our fault that you guys are the ones that got the order. We don't know how that happened.
Oh, man. But you put yourself in a hard spot because... So was it the drivers who called you?
No, it was, I think, like the dispatcher.
Okay. So I was going to say, if it was the driver... No, we still want it. Those drivers are now mad at you.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't be. It's not your fault.
I know. So Annette says, nope, sorry, we need the fridge because we've already gotten rid of the old one.
Right.
And we got to have a fridge. Plus, the day that they wanted to deliver it, we weren't going to be home. So then, like an hour later, the actual driver calls Annette and says, yeah, your fridge, it's got a dent in it. And I'm like, well, that seems like a strange coincidence. So,
convenient.
She texts me, what do you want to do? I said, tell them to text you a picture of it.
Yeah.
I want to see this dent. Because if it's like, if it looks like a truck ran into it, then no, I don't want the fridge. But if it's a little dent, then we're willing to work with them on it. Oh, sorry, we can't send a picture. It won't show up in the picture. So at this point, I'm convinced.
There's no dent.
There's no dent. They just don't want to make the drive. So to combat that, I said, we want the fridge. I want to see it in person.
So you're not there. Are you going to be there to meet the fridge? Okay, because in my mind, you're like hour away going,
sticking her with it.
Tell them to bring it. You take a look. You call me while they're there. We'll figure
I'll
this
give
out.
them a stern talking to on the phone.
Put me on speaker, hon.
So they show up, and it's like 7 o'clock in the afternoon or 7 o'clock in the evening. And these guys are obviously, they're dead tired. Abby, go away. They're dead tired from, no doubt, a very difficult, hard day of carrying furniture and carrying appliances and everything. And the first thing that they said to me, they're like, where did you order this from? And I was like, I ordered it online from the store that's 10 minutes from here. They're like, there's a store 10 minutes from here? Yeah. They're like, we're not really sure how we got this order. I'm like, neither am I. I even showed them my receipt. I'm like, here you go. Here's the paperwork. So don't kill the messenger. Well, it ended up being the little tiny dent on the one drawer that pulls out. So no big deal. They're going to order me a new one. But
they brought it there for you anyway.
They brought it there for me. The fridge is installed upstairs. We got the biggest possible fridge that would fit in the opening because we both had to push on the sides of it to get this thing into the opening. And I don't know if it'll ever come out. If we need to remove that fridge for any reason, I think it's just a permanent part of the house. Yeah.
Now, you thought that once before. Let me remind you. It was your bed.
Yeah.
That wasn't part of the house.
Yeah.
You took it away. So I have a feeling, push came to shove, you're knocking out a corner of a wall to get this fridge out.
Well, no, the fridge at least fit down the hallway.
Oh, okay. Then this is easy peasy.
Yeah. We just had to take the handles off. No big deal.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that whole experience made me want to sell the house. I want to move into
buying a fridge.
I want to move into a nice condo, a nice brand new condo.
Yeah.
Like, so brand new where they say, come in and pick out the colors before you move in. So I can just tell them, yeah, paint this room green, this room blue, this room purple. Done.
Don't you have to do your own upkeep, though? Like something, you need a new fridge. It's on you, right?
I got a fridge. I'll bring it with me.
Are you bringing that one with you?
Yeah.
So this new condo is going to be built around the size
I'm going to knock out a cabinet.
of your new fridge.
Yeah.
Hey, we could really use some more cabinet space. Sorry, had to knock out the two above the fridge. Wouldn't fit.
We had to take out a cabinet. We had to take out the cabinet above the fridge, take it over to my friend's house, run it through his table saw to shave it down about 3/4 of an inch to get this fridge to fit in there.
Really dancing with the devil there,
Yeah.
aren't you? Trying to get as much fridge space as you need. And now, if I know you and Annette, you guys are
beautiful fridge, though.
guys are eaters.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys are house and food. You probably got, sections that just food stacked on top of food, just running out of room.
Do you want to go upstairs and look?
Should I go take a look at this
You wanna
fridge?
go look at it right now?
Yeah, I'll take a look at this fridge.
All right.
You want me to go look? You coming with?
Oh yeah, I'm coming with you. I'll show you the new hot rod. What do you think of that fridge?
I mean, if you want to talk Cadillacs and refrigerators in the same vein, that'd be the one.
What do you think I got? Like a Coupe de Ville?
Oh yeah, red, leather interior, multiple. I mean, just shelves everywhere. Shelves as far as the eye can
Yeah.
see. I tell you.
You got yourself a beer out of the crisper drawer?
I did. You had it set like a real idiot, though.
I know, I had it.
You had it set for your deli snacks that don't exist.
No.
Because you can't eat them because you die because of your stomach.
It's not a twist off, is it?
So you have it set for beer, which you also can't drink because of your stomach, and you might die.
I can drink beer. I just don't. Yeah, I just don't prefer it.
Okay.
It's just not my favorite.
Well, you're a real party animal. You went to a hotbed this weekend of wine, and you don't like wine.
No, didn't drink one glass of wine.
It's also a hotbed of really nice craft beers.
Oh, barf. Come on.
Don't like beer?
Craft beer, I think, for the most part, is a bunch of hipsters who think that their beer tastes so unique, and it doesn't. It just doesn't.
I can see some of that. Absolutely, I'd agree with you.
Oh, check out the hoppiness. Oh, it's a double IPA. Shut up. Shut up.
Okay.
Tastes like Michelob.
You're a real party animal. You got your Crown and Sprites or whatever the heck it is you drink.
Mm-hmm.
That's it now? Is that your... You got a couple bottles up there, Crown, I didn't see? You keep some in the house?
There is still some. Yeah, there's some in the freezer.
You mix one up, you get home from work. Well, you get home from work a little earlier, but let's say, you're...
Yeah, I'm not mixing up drinks at like noon.
Well, let's say, 3, 4 in the afternoon, something like that. It's a Wednesday or a Thursday. God, it's been a day. Let me go mix up a Crown. And so you're not doing that? You're a weekend-only guy?
But a couple weeks ago, I had spent like half the day cleaning the garage. The garage was just a complete mess. So I'm out there cleaning up, get everything just how I wanted it. Finally, everything's nice and organized.
Yeah.
Like there was some stuff that was still laying around from when we moved in, and I finally found like the spot that it goes in.
Moved it all out of the way of the scooter.
Moved it out of the way of the scoot. That thing's got to have free reign to the
polish
garage.
that thing, wax it.
And I came back inside. It was a really hot day, really hot night. And I was like, I think I'm going to grab myself a beer and go sit in the garage.
Hey, like a man, right?
I did. And that was inside watching TV, and I just sat out in the garage in my camping chair.
So you busted open the bag chair.
With my feet up, and I sat there and drank a beer.
Play some music or just enjoy the sounds of the cul-de-sac?
No, just sounds of silence.
Huh.
Came back inside after my first beer. Grabbed a second beer.
You did not. Now, this is a weeknight?
No, this was a Saturday.
Oh, God, I was going to say. Phew.
Come on.
I wouldn't want you to think you're getting out of hand
What
now.
am I, insane? Out of my mind?
Does it, like, the fact that we used to get drunk like in college days, whatever. And you'd be like
on purpose.
Yeah, and you'd be like, nah, I'm fine. And then you'd sleep for 4 hours, and you'd go insult Jack, and I'd go to whatever my job was. Does that, like, think of that. Could you do that today? Like, if I said, hey, Steve, you and I, we're getting drunk tonight. We're just going to pound beers or mix, whatever you prefer. You're going to go to bed at midnight with an blood alcohol content.
Yeah, like 3 times the legal
Let's
limit.
call it a 0.17, just over 2 times the legal limit here in Michigan, and say you got to be up for work tomorrow. Could you do it? Normal. Like function normally?
I mean, I could. I would be able to wake up. But tomorrow would be a complete wash. I would go to work.
Zombie.
I would do my job to the best of my ability. I could probably mask it pretty well.
Yeah.
Get by. But tomorrow, when I get home from work, I'm falling asleep, and I'm not waking up maybe until Wednesday.
Oh my God!
And that would throw, if we got drunk tonight, that would easily affect me until Thursday. And today's Monday.
So you in?
I do got a full crisper full of beer up there and a bag of wine.
Just gotta move the onions.
Did you like the bag of wine in there?
The bag of wine's that you just you pop that little cap open and take a big swig, or
I guess it came in a box, but apparently the box
had to go.
I think it was in a cooler, and then the box got all
soggy, maybe
soggy.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. All tribulations aside, Steve, the fridge looks great.
It's a nice fridge, right?
It's a nice fridge. Now, sure, you're right. A tornado's not moving that thing. An earthquake, not budging.
Yeah, I don't know really. I don't know if it was a good idea to push the fridge in there with like all the might in the world.
Well, if it's the last fridge you're going to own, you're all set.
Yeah.
That's how fridges work, right?
They don't make things like they used to, though.
That's not. You don't think that's a 40-year fridge?
No.
I think it'll update at some point, so you'll probably have to take a saw and like cut like on a diagonal and try to get that out of there, by wiggling it.
Yeah.
Well, it looks great. So that was looks like a success to me outside of, a dent and having to push.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't even see the dent, did you?
Can't even tell. Can't even tell. So you had that failure, but you said you had an announcement that's I have made. It's going to knock me off my feet.
Oh, that's right. APS. That's how we got into
APS 4.0.
There is a chance that APS 4.0 progress will begin this week.
Oh, get out of here. This week?
This week.
That's absurd. First of all, the fact that I'm just hearing about this and I'm one of the guys in there is quite shocking to my core.
Well, I figured, I know you got a lot going on. Got a baby on the way. What? The 2.5 weeks?
2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. You're going to be a father.
Yeah.
Has that sunk in yet?
Let's make it 3.5.
So you're hoping for a little... Oh, so you can go see the movies you want to see?
Steve, that is selfish. I am just thinking of all the stuff
Your lover, Bradley Cooper?
Oh, my God, Bradley Cooper. The images from that set, I was looking at him a little bit more this week, Steve, to get a little more detail. The hair.
A little more detail of what?
The story. The
Okay,
hair.
What does his hair look like in that movie?
Look at it. Google Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born. You'll get some set photos. It's at perfect Bradley Cooper length, and it's he's aged since the Hangover years, so it's got some gray in there now. A few strands. Looks tremendous.
All right, so he kind of has like a. All right, so I kind of compare it a bit to what my hair looks like these days.
I mean, it is a little bit longer. I think
it is. It's a little bit longer. He's got a little more action in the back.
Yeah, that's the thing. The kick out in the back. Yeah. If I had the money and the wherewithal to fix my hair, I would bring a picture of that to whatever place I was at and say, "Here's a blank check. Make this happen.
Give me the BC.
Give me the B."
So that's what you're talking about. That right there.
Oh, good God! Look at that, man.
And I mean, you can tell that it's been a few days since it's been washed.
Yeah. Because he's a struggling. He's got some alcohol issues.
Who's got time?
He's a crooner.
Who's got time for Suave?
2 weeks away.
Yeah.
No, sorry, less than 2 weeks away from that, Steve. A week and a half until I'm sitting in a theater watching Bradley Cooper.
I am in for that. So
we have to do that Friday. It'll be Friday, October 5th.
Friday, October 5th. I am in. Annette wants to see it too.
Oh my! Is she going to stay awake?
I think so. I think we will. Yeah, maybe she takes a nap.
Should I have her like 15 minutes? Should I, in the middle of the movie, just...
Hey.
Yeah, just lean
All right,
forward.
so are we doing this then? Friday, October 5th?
Yeah, man, pen that in. I'll buy tickets. We're doing it.
Star is Born with... is your wife going to join us?
Oh, yeah. That's where we have to go. That's why we have to go Friday. Kyle can't go Thursday because I'm working.
What time do you think we'll go to that?
That'll be an evening show.
All right, we'll say 8 p.m.
A little late.
7 p.m.
You're close. Yeah, that's happening. That is happening.
What food are you guys going to sneak in?
Ooh, I've got boxes of... I got a Mike and Ike. And,
that's right. You get the garbage candy. What else? Like Pez?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to bring up Pez. I'm going to be sitting there with a novelty Super Mario clicking his head to get a Tic Tac from this idiot thing. No, man. You go Mike and Ike, I go a Raisinette.
Oh, my good Lord.
What?
We've talked about this before. You get the fruity garbage candy.
What are you getting? You going Junior Mint?
No, because that's more garbage candy.
Oh, hang on. Steve's living wild, guys. He's got a bundle of spearmint gum this week.
No, man. Candy is, I mean, the quintessential movie candy is like your M&Ms, your Snow Caps.
A snow cap, Steve.
Couldn't tell you the last time I had a snow cap.
Do they even sell? I saw it.
I think they do.
I saw it in the store the other day. Something called a Razzle. Yeah, and I remember
What's a
those.
Razzle?
But like that's what I envision you bringing. It's like a. I imagine you bringing a Junior Mint,
Razzle. What is a Razzle
a
candy?
pack of gum, and a Junior Mint.
I've never even seen Razzles before. Razzles original. Okay, so it looks like there's some kind of fruit, a bunch of different flavors. No, best movie candy: peanut butter M&Ms, hands down.
Snoo.
Razzles look like Legos.
Yes, they do. They're very, and they're like. Oh, I was thinking those are the chalky ones. They're not, but yeah, those aren't a great candy.
You want to buy? We can get a 24-box case for $30. But that's not a good deal.
No, you can find them at a dollar store.
Razzles.
You're going to charge me more than $1.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, you got Kit Kat. Like
you're bringing a candy bar into the movie?
Well, Kit Kat's not really a candy bar.
Oh, it's absolutely a bar.
It's a breakaway
Break
wafer.
me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Yeah, but when I think candy bar, I think this. I think the Lucky Billy, like the traditional... What? The traditional bar shape, whereas candy bar or the Kit Kats, they're wider and flatter.
Oh no, Kit Kat's a candy bar.
Yeah, I guess I'll give you that. But
you go candy bar at the movie theater, really? Like some slob
I don't
ripping
really,
over and open a Hershey's.
I don't really consider that. I don't know.
Well, that's
different.
a poll question this week.
Is
the Kit Kat a candy bar, or I don't even know what the other option is? It just yes or no?
It's like a flat wafer.
A wafer-based cracker cookie. Just very in-depth to explain a Kit Kat. So
okay.
So you're telling me right now, again, no idea how we just got in there because you said the words construction may begin this week.
Hold on, now we got tail
so
of the
we're
tape.
talking about the movie. Oh, I said I didn't know about it. And you said you're awfully busy, and I said, and because of the baby.
Oh, the baby, yeah.
Yep.
But then,
I said it needs to be 3.5 weeks, and you said, oh, because of A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
Okay,
man, I love when we dissect.
We got back. We've now rewound the VHS, and we're back to the square where Steve, you said the words construction beginning this week and play.
I kind of
What's going on? Like, why?
I kind of have an itch to do a project.
So now you're thinking this thing needs to start. Now, I don't want to put a timetable on this.
Progress is going to be slow. I want to go out this week. I want to buy some 2x4s, frame in the 2 walls that need to be framed in.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got all that extra gym membership money for all the drywall.
Yep. Got it. 5 times in the last week.
Oh,
5
my
times
God.
again.
I don't even know if we have time to get into that today. Somehow we've turned this episode into not having time. We're up.
Are we going to get to the one thing that
we have to. I would feel miserable if we don't. Miserable.
7 months in the making.
Yeah, but we'll do that right after this. So you've got
Abby,
the itch.
stop. This
so
cat, since we were gone all weekend,
needy,
and she has been clinging to us since we got home yesterday.
So you've got the itch for the project. We've got a project manager on board.
Yeah.
And our friend Chris.
Oh yeah.
Boyfriend of our friend Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
Believe he listens to the podcast.
Apparently.
I know she does. So maybe by proxy, when they travel, he hears it.
Yep.
So Chris
He texted me about something that we talked about last week, like a few days ago. So
Chris is in. Project manager Chris is in to help with APS 4.0.
He's got some good ideas.
You and I have talked about some good ideas already that we want to do. In the room, we've already laid it out in our brains.
Mm-hmm.
We've just got the actual construction and how we want it laid out, physically to see it to do. So you think you're going to start framing this thing out this week?
I think I want to commit to this week, but how about within the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, and you know what? It's important. There's no timeline on this.
None.
I want to be a big part of this. I want in on this.
Okay.
I mean, the last room it was already framed out? Was it framed out? Or no?
No, I did that on my own.
The demo not need to be done.
Yeah, you helped a bit with that. You helped with the demo. Then I framed it out on my own.
The countertop?
I did the drywall on my own.
The countertop?
I did the painting.
Remember that table?
Painting on my own.
Painted that room?
Yeah.
Remember? Huh.
That's right. You helped with the carpet tiles.
That countertop?
Yeah, countertop. I'll give you that.
I think it helped you hang a light.
Hang a light.
Or put some lights in there.
Nope, I don't think you did.
Yeah, so I was there for the lighting, the carpet, the table, the demo.
You weren't there. The one time that I needed you was for the door. That stupid door.
Oh, how dare you! I spent more than 90 minutes before or after recording an episode trying to fix this damn door.
To adjust that stuff.
And it never worked.
Wait, is it I forget, is it door closing season? Do you think that door is closing now?
You got their number? I need to know.
I'll just stop by the house. Hey. Now if you don't remember, I spent too much money on a stupid door.
Double the price
for that stupid door to the studio. Spent like 3 hours installing it.
We never got it.
And it closed for about a month.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, expansion and contraction happened because the seasons changed. And suddenly the door wouldn't close anymore.
I remember we grinded at that thing when I was here for at least an hour and a half or 2 hours. Shimming, drilling, trying to adjust the frame.
Nope.
No success.
No.
But this time, what could go wrong?
Yeah. It's, I think I'm doing glass door.
I know it. It's going to look so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
Doing glass
no
door. No
timeline.
Doing the door pull, no doorknob. Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, man. Can't wait.
No timeline on this because, we've gone from 2020 never to Steve starting next week.
Every now and then. Well, now that it's fall,
yeah,
there's a chill in the air.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be outside. I didn't want to be outside all summer either. So,
okay, all right. So the big camping excursions not in your bag.
No,
you weren't craving the outdoors. You weren't craving. You're not now where you want to go jump in a pile of leaves.
Nope. No, not at all. Not at all.
I don't want to go
cooped up inside with my compound miter saw. Maybe a stiff drink or two.
Yeah, and like a drill. Because I don't know what a compound miter saw is. I can't use that.
Yeah,
I'll use a hammer. Drill.
You'll figure it out. I'll show you.
See how we go with those, and then we'll talk screws and nails.
Yeah. We think like a sixpenny finishing?
No, I was thinking gloss. You talking paint?
No, nails.
Oh, yeah, the wood kind. Aren't those the long ones?
Uh-huh.
So the wood long ones, not the six knuckles, whatever you're talking about. Not interested.
Hammer niners.
Hammer niners. We're not interested in those ones.
God, this is the last 54 minutes have just been gibberish.
No, you got to take about it is about 54.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you have to take about 4 off because we looked at your fridge. That makes sense to anybody.
Right. Yeah.
Absurd.
Yep.
Well, it's time to get this thing back on track. So, APS 4.0 construction, possible TBD 2019.
Oh, we'll definitely be in there in 2019.
Listen, it's a busy winter.
It's happening.
It's a busy winter, Steve.
Is it? I got nothing going on. I have nowhere to be.
I feel like we could have started this like a couple of weeks ago. It's progress before I wasn't available, but
Yeah, it's still summertime. I was still living the summer dream.
so your summer doesn't stop at Labor Day. It's not like
No.
okay, so it's just whenever you arbitrary.
It's
Steve summer.
when the seasons change. When we get the first frost.
That's the Steve summer. Everybody starts and ends on arbitrary notice. You must be not we, but Annette must be prepared at a whim to stop going outside, even more so than before during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she's known for taking Lola on long walks.
Yep.
You guys went up north. Yeah, I heard you were bringing bicycles to hit the trail. No more.
No.
Even an errant 80-degree day in the next few weeks, you're done.
Yeah.
You're
it's
putting
winter.
on your flannel.
Nope. Yeah, crackling fire upstairs every night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crackling fire down here pretty shortly.
That's right.
The fireplace that we have.
There it is.
So APS 4.0, stay tuned. Excited.
Mm-hmm.
Excited. From square none to completion, 2019.
Yeah. And I think that once I get started on it, I'm really going to get excited about it, and it's going to go faster than expected.
Yeah, I can't wait, because if I remember right, was it last? It was 2017 we were making that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I work till 3:30. You want to help with the drop-down ceiling? Let me know. I can be over right after that. Got a text about 1:15 p.m. Hey, man, look at the drop-down ceiling. It's all done.
Ceiling's done.
Yeah, looks great. I'll come over and test the tiles.
Come over and look at it.
Yeah. I'm excited. I cannot wait for that. That's exciting.
Maybe after we're done recording, we'll go in there and we'll kind of finalize what our layout is going to be.
Yeah, well, now we have to leave 2 walls empty because remember, we have our 10 by 22 foot vinyl of whatever is going to be on our billboard in Van Wert, Ohio, coming March 2019. We're taking home and putting it in APS 4.0 along 2 walls.
So basically, one wall will have a TV. One wall, assuming, is going to have some kind of like trophy case looking thing.
Oh yeah, we got big ideas.
Where all of our little tchotchkes are going to go, like our sand from the beaches of Iwo Jima. Mm-hmm.
Half shattered photograph of Paul Sr. and family
sent to us by S. Robbie Mack.
That's Robbie Mack.
Who works faithfully for the U.S. Postal Service on a daily basis.
Got a Rocky IV poster.
Of course.
Got the Mighty Mac.
Not a chance. That will, something, I'll put that, that's going to be like a baseboard.
Got our Ben & Jerry's koozies. Those from Josh in Maine. Thank you very much. Got our from our conspiracy, whenever we start the conspiracy cast.
What was that one called? Did we have
a name for the conspiracy cast?
That wasn't part of History of the Mystery?
It could be an offshoot of History of the Mystery.
Oh, so our offshoots have offshoots now.
Got the I Want to Believe poster we got our recording in progress light. We've got our floor mat.
Our cheers stuff.
Yes. And we'll be doing a memorabilia drive for when the APS is going to open. We would love to collect stuff and put it in there.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting.
Oh, it's going to be so big. It's going to be a big time.
But just as big and maybe from before we even had APS 3.0, it feels like it's time we bring back, Steve, an old staple. Now, we haven't even mentioned this in months. It fell by the wayside way back in January when we were doing the National Throat Goblin Championship, which, believe it or not, is coming up again very soon.
Oh, man.
Well, now at this rate, you better start getting that stomach gurgling because we haven't had one in 3 weeks.
Oh, boy, that's a record, right?
Yeah, it's been, since the new season started.
Hold on. Let me...
You're going to try to force one out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Steve getting a nice big drink of that tea because, as we know, that's all he drinks. It's tea o'clock somewhere. It's a forced burp.
Yeah, that's right, though. I just gotta prime the
You gotta
pumps.
build it. You gotta build it. So this has been months, and we owe this man an apology because
Now, I need you to go back and reveal like the timeline.
yeah. So
When was the first interaction with
So
this person?
we had been pitching for people to leave us reviews, and we haven't mentioned it in a while, but if you'd be so kind to do so on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, wherever you listen to the podcast, if they have an option to leave a review, please leave us a positive review. I guess that should be stated. And send us a screenshot of that. We'd love to chat with you. Put your name in the hat for a bit we haven't done. 2 minutes of awkward conversation. We bring you on air. The idea is the onus is on you. You left us the review. We need you to drive a couple minutes worth of content, whatever you think is interesting. Okay? We might ask you a few leading questions, but honestly, the whole idea is for you to take control. You left us the positive review. It's your podcast for that 2 minutes. Well, that was in overdrive for the last year. 2017, we were doing it weekly, and then we just stopped. Yeah. There was a list. I still have a backlog of people on this list. I don't even know if they listen anymore.
Probably not.
Got Christopher James, hasn't responded in months. Jordan Blesky on Twitter, don't worry, you're still there. Eli Forbush, I believe he still listens because he communicated with me when I was up in Houghton, Michigan. Rai Gurin, I want to say, Gurin. He sent us an email with a review that he posted. But this person first messaged us on Twitter in October of 2017.
Just shy of a year ago.
With their review. And I still have the imager. I still have the link. Let me open it up. So this, again, was left. And he may have even left it before that October date that he sent the email.
So 11 months ago, we got notice of it.
Yeah, he uploaded this July 1st, 2017.
Okay.
So 15 months ago. With the headline, More Funny Than Advertised. What, another podcast featuring two white dudes talking about random train of thought topics? Yep. I was forcibly coerced into listening to them over a week's time.
There it is.
And I gotta say, it's an entertaining few hours. Kyle is now this is an upset of the year because I don't think there's a dig. I haven't read this in about a year.
Let's hear it.
Kyle is a creative storyteller.
What?
And witty commenter.
You?
And Steve doesn't have a PH in his name. So
okay.
I guess I should have read ahead a minute.
Yeah.
Seems like the dig was the other way this time.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like...
Hey, how can you be upset? What he said is true.
I feel like he really tried with yours, and then he used up all his trying, and then he got to me, and he just stated something about me.
I feel like he adequately laid out the roles on this podcast.
So your role is storyteller and witty commenter.
Creative storyteller.
Thank you. And witty commenter.
Yep.
And mine is not having letters in my name.
Mm-hmm.
So if it had been the other way around, and it said Steve is the witty, creative, handsome, every man wants to be him.
So every other review
kind of guy.
Yeah.
And Kyle doesn't have an R in his name.
Yeah.
You'd be okay with that?
Listen, in this weird, 1984 Orwellian universe you're describing, Steve, I wouldn't know how I'd react. All I'm saying is I feel
so
like...
You can't put yourself in that situation?
I feel like our friend Carl nailed the roles on this podcast.
I guess I can't argue with that.
But seriously, Steve is funny in his own right.
Wait.
Does that kind of mean you think you're funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his own right.
So you're welcome. My goodness, you're
So needy.
I was genuinely, surprisingly, pleased to hear more of his commentary and ideas, since his side gig doesn't usually have him talking for long periods of time. This show is definitely worth a listen, but I would encourage you to try out a few episodes. Don't expect miracles. It's not serial. It's simply an amusing podcast ranging from pop culture to hasn't been pop culture in a long time. Parentheses, cheers. Well, now we're fighting. And he says, check it out.
All right.
So after... Oh my God.
What the hell happened?
This teetering disaster that is Steve's microphone finally may have totally given up. Did the whole thing just break, or is the bottom still intact? Looks like it's all intact.
Yeah, I think it is. Hold on. Let's
I need to get you just a holster that sits on the table. And you know, it maybe has an extension arm, because that side of the folding table is apparently a nightmare. So, that was sent to us.
Hold on, I'm fixing it.
Oh, don't worry. I'll pick up the slack. I'm used to it. That was sent to us in October of 2017, 1 year ago. Now, this is where I start to feel bad and why I mentioned we cannot skip this again. I told Carl, hey, I put you on the list because at that point we had a backlog of people. Well, we made it around to Carl in February. February 11, I messaged Carl.
Well, that's not bad. I mean,
said, hey, Carl, you around?
I guess I'm just holding this.
Oh, my God. Go ahead and fix it. Take it away.
Can't.
You can't fix it. Did it break? Did the actual arm break?
I don't know.
Are we buying another mic arm?
Well, we'll say that we're going to buy another mic arm.
Yeah, and then wait a year.
Yeah, and then we won't.
So Carl said he is February 11th, and I said, we'll call you soon. He said, great. And then I went so far as to never message him back. So 9 days later, poor Carl messages, no worries not being able to squeeze me in. Already, more, don't know why he had to say anything, because we were already the jerks in this case. And then he went out of his way, sent us a Steve 16 logo, which was gorgeous, and we went all the way as to not use it. We've done nothing.
Was that Belch Badness?
And it's gorgeous.
Let me see that.
It looks beautiful. We need to upload this on a shirt.
Oh, that is nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Carl, we're going to need you to send that to us in email because I want to upload that. That is beautiful. And then so that went untouched. Didn't even respond. Didn't even say thank you for those designs in March. That went
sounds like us.
That went unreplied until May, where I said, "Are you free to talk tomorrow?"
Wait, so at no point did you even reference it then?
No.
Okay.
You free to talk tomorrow? This is May the 6th. That's right. You. Oh, I don't know what that was.
Yeah. Apparently, I can plug my cup in.
This is a disaster. Let's throw this whole thing out. He said, probably. That was on May the 6th. Texted back May the 7th. And I didn't answer. And I said, we'll try to hit you next week. That was May the 7th. May the 15th, he answered, or he sent a response. This man, after, at that point, 7 months of neglect,
still standing by us,
bought our domain space for us. SteveandKyle.com, SteveandKylePodcast.com. If you go to either of those, they redirect right to our website, our podcast hosting page. And I texted him back 12 days after that. Said, you're at the top of the list. Messaged him in June. Said, are you around? He said, yep. Said, give us. And he said, yep. Half hour later, any idea of time frame? You know how I answered that, Steve? This is a message on June 3rd, 3:01 p.m.
You didn't reply.
Messaged him back September 24th, 5:02 p.m.
Oh, so an hour ago.
Merely 3 months and 3 weeks after he initially messaged us about that. And I said, yeah, give us about a half an hour. That was an hour and 16 minutes ago.
It's going to happen right now.
To continue the line of disrespect. Now, this is Carl Furrow. I read you the reviews. This is a great man who has been... I would have unsubscribed.
I don't know if he's a great man. I haven't talked to him
Good
yet.
point. Well, he was aggressive towards you with the review.
Yeah, that's true. All
So
right,
we're going to try this. Now, if this goes to the way of the past, your thing, it won't work.
Yeah.
He won't hear us.
And go. Ring. Ring now.
It's ringing, right?
Yeah. Oh. Hello? Hello?
How is this going less efficiently than all of the other times we've done it?
I know what I did. I muted the...
Oh, for God's sake. You had it muted?
Well, there's always so many different sound effects and bells and
Yeah, we
buzzers.
use a lot of sound effects. We got a lot
like
of
my
whoopee
computer.
cushions.
No,
Oh.
my computer. Good joke. Wink, wink. All right, let's try this again. What's his name? Cliff?
Carl.
All right, trying this again. Hello.
Hey, Carl. How are
Carl.
you, man?
Hey, how's it going? Doing all right.
All right. Sorry, we're a bit tardy on our call. I know
Hey,
that-
ignore what Steve just said, Carl. Right off the bat, how was your last October, friend?
Oh, so good. I'm glad we're picking up right where we left off.
Yeah, man. Halloween, all good. You and the family get trick-or-treating done.
How were the holidays?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Did you enjoy fireworks this 4th?
Absolutely.
See who won that election?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy, right? Oh, no, that was...
Yeah, I mean, so much to catch up on. But, yeah, what a crazy year it's been.
Yeah, and boy, and talk about Labor Day. My God, what a holiday. Thank
my God.
goodness we have it off, Carl.
What'd you do for the eclipse?
Yeah, where were you for the eclipse,
Oh.
Carl? That's a good talking point.
I mean, as you'll recall from our last conversation, I had plans to... I have no idea. I don't even remember. That was a long time ago. I mean, I remember that it happened, but I'm just going to stop right here.
Yeah. I
Okay,
feel
Carl,
like that
you're
was-
blowing my mind right now. We've spoken before?
No, we have.
Okay.
We
Oh, okay.
have
Woo.
not spoken.
Oh, boy, I would have felt bad.
Yeah, oh boy.
I mean,
Wow,
I
it
was-
hung up.
I would have felt worse than I feel for not calling you back for 11 months.
11 months you've been on the line. We just recapped it, Carl. I messaged you like 5 times, said, be ready. We're calling you in a half an hour. Never even replied.
I picture it.
Yeah,
I picture it probably looked like when you're watching a movie or a TV show, and they show like the dog, the little puppy, just sitting at the house with its leash in its mouth,
Oh man,
waiting for its owner to walk in the door, and then
snow starts falling on the dog, and
Exactly.
it's really fast.
oh, terrible. Well, we're sorry, Carl, our little
No,
puppy.
It's totally fine. Hey, it's your show. It's your show.
We're finally home, and we're going to take you on that walk now.
Now, Carl, we
Fantastic.
read your review. It sounds like you were one of by downloads numbers, one of the very few who jumped on after being force-fed this podcast through Steve's side gig. Is that accurate?
Yeah. That sounds very accurate, if I can recall. But that definitely seems like the first time it went on during the best of week or whatever it was, like a week that they were off, the side gig was off, and you guys came on. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. And I found your podcast and grabbed it and have, I guess, subscribed ever since. I'm 2 weeks behind right now, but a pretty loyal listener, I guess.
Well, that's all the time we have, Carl.
Hey, thanks so much. I'll see you guys in a couple of years.
Yeah. What now? What do you do, Carl? You sent us a few. Are you in the graphic design game at all?
Oh no, absolutely not. That's just a hobby that I've had. I'm in software development, a lot of web stuff, game development. I do a number of things.
Oh, okay.
So we talked a little bit on this podcast. We talked in the months before. We actually talked this episode. You're in the software game. Do you know what a PenguinCon is?
PenguinCon?
Yeah. Apparently, it's
Like a
convention.
software thing in Michigan.
Yeah, it's a convention for penguins or something.
Oh, for Linux, right? Yeah, for the Linux.
Yes,
operating
Steve,
system,
you big
I
dummy.
imagine.
It's for Linux.
Oh, of course. Yeah, how silly of me.
PenguinCon? Yeah.
Do you
I
think
presume that's what it is.
you can get us in?
This is the first I'm hearing about it, so probably not.
Feels like you're not pulling many strings right now for us, Carl.
I mean,
after
all we've done for you, Carl.
I know.
We've done for you. I mean, we let you buy us those domain names.
Yes.
How much do we owe you for them, by the way?
Yeah.
Honestly, I have no idea. I buy a lot of domains on my own, just like, oh, that's a funny thing. I'm just going to buy that. And
you're
like $10 a pop, $5 a pop. So.
You're a cyber squatter, aren't you? And then you hope that somebody's going to get in touch with you and say, hey, I'll buy this.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Nobody in the 15 years or so that I've been buying domains, nobody has ever offered to buy one of my domains. They're that useless. Aside from StephenKyle.com, StephenKylePodcast.com.
What's the most bizarre domain name that you own?
Oh, geez. That's a good... On the spot? Geez. I used to have one, and I don't even know... This was probably one of the first ones I bought. I don't know where it came from, but I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe someday I'll design a website for West Michigan winged women. Like, if you got a wing man, what about having a wing woman go out with you? So I squatted on that domain, and then I just didn't do anything with it. So it was a terrible idea. I don't think I still own it, but that was one of the weirder ones I had.
So it was just westmichiganwingwoman.com?
I think so. Yeah, is that even a thing now?
If you had to estimate, how many do you own right now?
No, the site can't be reached, unfortunately.
I probably have, I don't know, probably 30, 40 sites, just domains. And I only use a couple, like my own personal domains. But that's really it.
All right. I have a small request. If you have 30 to 40 of them, if you can just take like 10 to 15 of them and redirect them to StephenKyle.com, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean,
we need all the traffic we can get.
Because I'm sure right now they're just showing some type of landing page, like, oh, something's coming soon, and a construction worker.
It's got
Jesus.
Yeah, it's got the road cone under construction. Oopsie doopsie. Sorry.
All right.
So how can I, if there's a domain that I want, how can I get it? How do I find out when it expires? Because I don't know. I want to buy Google.com. There was that guy. There was that guy that he did that. He squatted on Google.com, and they somehow let their domain name expire, and then he ended up selling it back to them for like $1 or something.
Oh, that's an idiot move.
Yeah.
So, the easiest answer is it's called Whois. That's a service, a Whois request. There's a website that do this for you.
Right.
Do Whois and then search Google.com, and you'll find all the registration information about that site, and also when it was registered, when it's going to expire.
All right. I'm coming for you, Google.
And you can do that for any.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
So if you can be on there the day it expires and register it fast, you're golden.
So
beautiful.
To recap, though, Steve, a guy who wouldn't even get our own domain space, is going to seek out and wait out Google.com to register that.
Yeah, and I'm not selling it back cheap either.
No, it can pony up.
Yeah,
you don't have time for the small potatoes. You're shipping so big.
Exactly.
There's time to set up your own domain when you could be going after the big dog.
Oh, and then I'll redirect it to StephenKyle.com.
For even an hour.
Redirect it to StephenKyle.libsyn.com.
Yeah, so we're on a double redirect that and technically Carl paid for.
Right. So if Carl really wanted to, he could then take it and redirect that to his own website.
Yeah, it's a win-win for everyone.
Or just back to Google, and then it's just a loop. Can you do that? Can you triple redirect and then make it a loop?
Only if you own all those endpoints in your node, then you could throw them to one domain.
I own all the endpoints. Look, man, you don't need to tell me about owning endpoints in the node. I know exactly what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, Steve's in the game, Carl. Don't disrespect him, okay? Now, Carl, I think based on your phone number, I'm guessing you're are you local?
Yeah, I am local. Yep, I'm local.
Okay. What's your wife, kids, single? You living the dream over there?
Oh, yeah. I have a wife, no kids. Yeah, living the dream. Just the two of us.
You guys dinks?
What's that? Oh, yeah, we are. Yes, dinks. Yeah.
Dual income, no kids.
Hey, how about you?
Yeah.
It's you too.
I'm a dink. You're a dink for another
For 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks. Well, Carl, coming from an impending father like myself, it's my time to say it's about time to ask her get off the pot. It's now my spot in the world to tell people or to make everybody uncomfortable by going, hey, you
it's your prerogative.
Gonna have kids anytime soon?
Are you ready to?
What are you waiting for?
Ready to be a grown up?
Well,
Carl,
I have had people ask me when I'm going to start getting serious. Like, I've only been married 10 years, but when are you going to get serious? Like,
wow, 10 years.
Kids,
Jesus,
obviously.
yeah, man. When are you going to get serious? Come on. What are you doing?
I'm just not that kind of guy. Just not that guy.
10 years, you're probably younger than Steve, yet he's lecturing you about getting serious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're in West Michigan. You've been married 10 years, so what, you're 29?
That's true. That's true. No, luckily, I am, 30? I'll be 36 this year.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Like, really young. That's still super young to get married, I think.
Yeah. Well, speaking from my 10 months of experience, I think you're doing just fine.
Yeah, sounds like your marriage is on a solid base. Collectively over here, Carl, we've got it's about 4.5 years of experience to tell you about your 10 years of experience, and it's safe to say you're doing okay over there. Now, you said you're married.
I appreciate it.
We like to ask everybody, does your wife listen, or have you made your wife listen?
I have made her listen, and she is not happy about it.
Nice. So why does she not like Kyle?
Tried. Well, that's a great question. Great question. So the problem she has is she'll be listening, and she'll just say something like, well, the best part about this is that it's so funny. And I hate it when she says that type of stuff because I enjoy it, and she. So.
Well, what's your wife listen to? Is she a podcast, or what type of pods is she listening to? We call them pods in the biz.
Yeah,
and biz is short for business,
yeah.
Carl. So what type of pods is she?
So she's a writer. She has writing workshops, so she does a lot of writing and literature podcasts or whatnot. Is someone snoring over there?
Yeah. That's what that is.
A writing podcast? Like they tell you how to write? Like, hey, everybody, here's your lead of the week. Yeah, hey, a cat goes boop in the night.
Indent. First paragraph.
I mean, I can't say that's what it is, but we can say collectively that's what it is. I really don't know what she listens to.
I need you to do us one favor here, Carl, and that is I need you to be a good husband, but more importantly, a better fan of this podcast. Next time you're riding together, longer trip, you've tried this podcast with her. She gave you the passive aggressiveness. Here's what you do. Say, hey, hon, why don't you put on one of your podcasts? You can get caught up, and I'll listen along. And then about 2-3 minutes in, you turn stone-faced, and you go, hon, this is so entertaining. And then you just look back towards the road.
Just total deadpan.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think she'll get a real charge out of that.
Yeah, I think that's what you need to do. That's that'll give her a piece of our mind.
Well, Carl,
I'll let you know how it goes in another 11 months or so.
Yeah, we'll catch up 2019. Can't wait to hear about the kids.
Yep.
Yeah, we appreciate everything you've done for the podcast, whether it be the Belch Badness logo.
That's incredible, by the way.
Or the domain names. If you'd like, just send us the info on how we can transfer them into our name, and then we'll probably not do that. And then once they expire, we'll send you a frantic message saying, hey, what do we do?
Hey, why aren't these redirecting, Carl, you big dummy?
Yeah, come on. Do your job, man.
Right now, I think they're on auto-renew, so you're fine for now unless I uncheck those boxes for some reason.
Well, send that bill to Steve's side gig. They'll cover it.
Yeah.
They'll foot the bill for those.
I'm sure.
You know something, Carl, actually go to our merch store. Tell us which shirt you want, and we will order you a shirt and have it sent to you.
Man, absolutely. And you know what? I'll even go one more. Pick one out for your wife as well, and we won't buy that for her.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for her.
Yeah, please do that and message us, and I'll read it in 3 months.
All right.
Hey, it sounds so good. So good.
Carl, we appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time.
Well, thank you so much. You guys take care. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll keep listening.
Thanks for listening. Man. Keep grinding on that bat crazy wife of yours.
Yeah. Start having kids too.
Yeah, we'll do. I will.
See ya.
We'll do. Take care.
I liked Carl.
What a nice man.
Carl's a good
Done
soul.
a lot for the. I mean, honestly, making a logo that went unthanked until just now.
Definitely.
6 months.
Why don't we should just make that the shirt that we get him?
Throw that logo up. Give him his own logo on a shirt.
Yeah. Say like a Carl exclusive on the bottom or
Yeah.
something.
Hey guys, I really don't want that one. Yeah. You're welcome, idiot.
Yeah. Shut up. Thank you. You're welcome.
Carl was great. So I think it's safe to say we're gonna. It might not be regular, but we have a tiny.
I like that.
I
Man.
love that segment.
was
I've
fun.
always enjoyed it, and and more importantly, it takes the onus off of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So please do that.
I can just zone out for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Not
Every now and
listen-
again, go.
Not listen to a thing they're saying.
So please leave us your reviews. iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever avenue you listen to podcasts on. That's all we ask. Leave a review, a 5-star review with whatever you want to say. Take a screenshot of that. Send it to us. Facebook.com/Steve Kyle, at Steve Kyle on Twitter. Whatever avenue, let us know. We'll put you on the list for 2 minutes of awkward conversation. Think it's safe to say we're going to bring that back, probably not weekly, but on a more regular basis than once every 9 months.
All right, now I was just about to jump into the Fast Five, but I think before that,
Yes!
People are
Are you kidding me? Oh, you're going to have to give me a quick moment. This is, my heart's fluttering like Bradley Cooper just walked into the room. Trivia!
now I
Oh,
figure
my
since we
goodness.
did 2 minutes of awkward conversation, let's make it a throwback episode.
We're giving all the old bits a retry.
That's right. So for those of you who have just joined the podcast in the last year, you're still new. Kyle, when you tore your Achilles, a year and a half ago at this point,
Yeah.
we documented how you basically did nothing for 3 months.
That's accurate.
Except lay on the couch and watch the entire series Cheers.
Yeah.
Was it 270
episodes.
half-hour episodes?
Yep.
Or 23-minute episodes. So you considered yourself a bit of a savant when it came to all things Cheers.
Yeah.
We took a trip. We did a 24-hour whirlwind trip to Boston.
Yeah.
Went to the bar that inspired the TV show, or the storefront, or not storefront, like the exterior shot of Cheers. Toured all around the city for the day. Left here at like 3 a.m. Flew to Boston.
Yes.
Walked around for 12, 14 hours or so. Back to the airport. Flew back here, jumped in the car, drove back from Detroit, got back at 3 a.m. So it was a 24-hour trip filled with lots of walking,
Yeah.
some drinking,
Cannolis.
cannolis, barf, and
Travel.
travel. Ended up back here. So we found this old board game,
Yeah, with trivia cards
Cheers
in it.
Trivia. What is your record? Now, the way that the format of this game is, I ask you 3 trivia questions.
Yep.
I give you multiple choice answers. Or you have the option to forego the multiple choice answers.
Yes.
And if you guess the answer without me even giving you any options, you get
3 points
3 points
compared to the 1.
compared to 1 point if you get it with the actual options.
Yeah. So this is the 10th time we've played, Steve, and I am currently standing at exactly 50%.
Oh boy.
13 correct out of 26 on a bit of a heater. 5 out of my last 8.
5 out of your last 8. But
that's-
those have been spread out over...
The last 2 times we
6
played
months?
are June 5th
wow.
and March 13th. So we've been better with Cheers Chat than we've been with Carl.
Yeah. All right, so Cheers Trivia. What would you like first? The pink question, the green question, or the purple question?
Green question, sir.
Green question. What did Sam do to break out of a slump when he was pitching?
I'm going to need the multiple choice.
Okay. Just realized I don't have any of I don't have buzzers or bells.
Oh, because your iPad is...
It's
do you want to play those by... You want to do some mouth work?
I'll
do some voice work?
Don't you worry.
I'll close my eyes.
Okay, what did Sam do to break out of the slump when he was pitching? A. Drank himself into a coma. B. Wore women's underwear. Or C. Dated twins.
That's B, Steve. Wore women's underwear.
That's what you think.
B, women's underwear. Sam breaking out of a slump. Women's underwear. Oh, come on! That means I have to hit the next two to stay above 50%. What was the answer, Steve? Was it dated twins? That would be... Oh, boy.
He drank himself into a coma.
I guess that makes sense. He was a recovering alcoholic on the program. Should have known that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strange that you would pick War Women's underwear so you don't remember that happening.
No, but that feels like... A lot of these answers feel like a conversation piece at the bar.
Okay.
Like somehow that info got out.
Hey, maybe
Norm
you should wear
and
women's
Cliff,
underwear.
Yeah. Like, hey, Sammy, you got the panties on today?
Okay. Would you like purple or pink?
Pink.
During Eddie's losing streak, what did fans send to him?
All right. Who's Eddie? I'm going to need the multiple choice there, Steve. Maybe that'll ring a bell.
Was it A, an octopus? B, dark glasses and a white cane? Or C, a cage full of bats?
Oh, God.
So you don't even know who Eddie is.
That didn't help. I'm thinking Eddie is Sam's also former ball player friend who shows up only a handful of times in the entire series. I'm going to say that's the cage full of bats. C. Come on. All right.
Of course, everybody knows, all of us Cheers aficionados know that
Is it the cane?
it was dark glasses and a white cane,
that's
man.
so old. Oh, that's so stupid.
It's so old.
Well, it's like, hey, ref, you're blind as a bat. You can't see anything.
Well, yeah, then you should have gotten it.
It's a little on the nose, isn't it?
Okay, here we go.
This is embarrassing. I have had, in my 9 attempts, 0 offers. 0.
The purple question. What is Carla and Eddie's song? Eddie returns for another question.
Eddie's the hockey goalie, Steve. He's the one.
I thought
Boy.
you said he was like
Now,
Sam's
nope, he's not.
baseball
Eddie
friend.
is the hockey goalie who gets run over by a Zamboni in the show and dies.
Of course, yeah.
That is, I am sorry to all my fellow Cheers fans. I do not know their song, Steve. I'm going to need the options.
Was it the theme from Saturday Night Fever?
No.
The theme from Batman? Or Oh Canada?
Oh, Canada.
Final answer?
Final answer, oh, Canada.
Ding, 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 ding.
I knew Eddie was a Canadian goalie. He was the goalie for the Boston Bruins. That's how Carla met him in the bar, everybody.
Was that Eddie LeBecq?
Eddie LeBecq. They got married. He lost his job in the NHL. Ended up having to go on the figure skating, like the Stars on Ice thing, Steve.
Okay.
Has to go on the Stars on Ice tour. Ends up having an affair, it seems, with another female on there. And then I believe off screen there was some issues with his contract. They had him run over by a Zamboni and killed, so he was no longer on the program. Eddie's trajectory on Cheers, everybody.
Oh, boy. Heck of a season that was, right?
It was ups and downs abound there. Ups and downs.
You wanna go where people know people all know the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Trivia! Never gets old.
Thank you, man. That's always a thrill. It always gives me a charge when that music hits and I'm ready to play.
All right.
And then I go 1 for 3.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was embarrassing.
That was really bad. Let's just jump right into the fast
Yeah.
five.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. Tiger Woods.
How about it? Tiger's back, right?
You there? You watched?
That no, I saw the highlights. Saw that crowd though was insane.
Unbelievable. Unlike anything I've ever seen.
How do you keep your cool then? How do you not like?
That's massive.
How do you not like? Yeah,
Right?
I did it.
Right. You're whipping clubs.
And then he goes in like 9 putts.
Yeah.
Finishes 7th.
Tin cups it.
Yeah.
The Kavanaugh hearings.
Such a dog and pony show.
It's gotten ugly.
Yeah, and I don't mean that in disrespect to the accuser at all. Not even remotely. But it's just this is what it's become. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
It is. It has turned very contentious.
How do people like? Why does he
I mean, if anything's true, then why would people support him?
Why are we even having these at that point?
Yeah.
Like if this turns out to be even remotely true, should he even be
Right.
sitting there to be nominated?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Eric Dickerson. I don't know if you were tracking this story at all last week. Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson,
wasn't he a
NFL Hall
kicker?
of Famer. No, he was a running
Oh,
back.
okay. What did he do?
Oh, you didn't hear anything about that?
I don't think so.
Oh boy, big news. We'll come back. We'll
right.
come back around the horn. The Joker.
Yeah. Green hair.
You didn't see the footage? Oh my God, Steve! I need to get you on the internet. It's this new thing. And lastly,
Anytime I see anything comic related, I zone
you didn't
out.
like Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight?
Never saw it.
What? Okay, stop the presses. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I never saw it.
The man won an Oscar.
Cool. Okay. Good for him.
Lastly, Chicago Cub Addison Russell.
Is that only
Did you read
four?
this
Was that
story?
only 4?
This is number 5. Addison Russell,
Addison Russell.
the Chicago Cub. Phew. Ex-wife, had a blog post uploaded somewhere alleging 2 years of emotional and physical abuse by the Chicago Cubs. I want to say he's a shortstop infielder that he has denied. Well, now he's been put on the bench and suspended, and there's no good way to handle these. These allegations seem to come out. They had the case this year where I think we talked about it a little bit with the Houston Astros trading for Roberto Osuna, who's the reliever who was convicted or charged with domestic violence as well. MLB seems somehow behind, well, not surprisingly, it's baseball, behind the curve in this. They don't know how to handle these.
Yeah. What do you do? Like if you're the manager of that team,
Right. I think you have to sit him, but there's no charges. So how long do you sit him? I mean, that's a tough spot. It's just these leagues should be more. You'd think they'd be a little more proactive in figuring out a policy how they want to handle these going forward if there's an allegation made.
right? Yeah,
But
there
we're-
should be something in print. That
But
says,
every league
if-
struggles.
Yeah, if this, then that.
Yeah, it's. But yeah, just I mean, now what do you do? You shrug your shoulders.
Well,
Hey,
just
when's-
look to the NFL. I mean, they always handle it with grace.
sure-handed,
Yeah,
guiding light. Roger Goodell knows how
it's
to
always
do
very
it.
consistent.
Yep.
Yeah.
For that, the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, taking the face paint and the garb from the most recent incarnation. Some test footage released this past week.
How's he look?
Different. They're going with a straight traditional clown face paint with the green hair slicked back. The costume looks great. Todd Phillips, director of The Hangover. Steve, does that strike your fancy at all? You got Joaquin Phoenix,
Okay.
known thespian.
Yeah,
Got a director who's directed some good movies in his day.
sure.
Todd Phillips, you intrigued by the Joker at all?
No,
Eric Dickerson.
you are you?
I mean, as a comic book guy, absolutely. And Joaquin Phoenix is a really good actor. These movies for the DC comic universe with Batman, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
They can't nail anything
Just
down.
like it. Like I remember when Iron Man came out.
Yeah.
and I was like, "Whoa, that's awesome!" And I was excited about that, and I saw it. And then it seemed like within a month there were 15 other movies that came out, all superheroes. Half of them I had never heard of. And
there's been quite a few
I think
over the years.
Yeah, I think it's been a little diluted a bit. So I find it hard to get excited about stuff like that.
I love them. I love them all. For that, Eric Dickerson, Hall of Famer, running back, sent a letter last week from a group he's calling the Hall of Famers, saying that they will not be attending the Hall of Fame ceremonies anymore until former players are given pensions and health benefits.
Good for him.
The problem is his letter a bit misconstrued because he said until Hall of Famers get benefits and paid. So are you fighting for former players, or are you fighting for just people who made the Hall of Fame?
You're fighting for all players, or
Because if you make the Hall of Fame, you're more likely to be making money today than players who played
Sure.
1 year and got concussions and can't move anymore. I'm less worried about you than I am that guy.
sure, you have the means to. You most likely have. I can't imagine that there are a lot of Hall of Famers that are just scraping by.
Right. But is that a dent? Does anybody care? Whoa, they're not going to the Hall of Fame.
No.
Like,
I don't-
unless they go and say, I want my name removed from the Hall of Fame
Right, because-
until this is remedied.
Because the average person isn't going to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
I don't care.
Like, it's just going to be... Because if you're in Canton, Ohio, you swing by the Hall of Fame for the day. You're not expecting... It's not like you're expecting to go in there and see players.
Right.
Like, sitting in front of their display and, like, answering your questions.
Yeah,
So,
unless they made a
I don't
move.
care if they're not there.
Like, remove my bust from the Hall of Fame. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
even make a
That
dent.
would- yeah, but they don't want to... He doesn't want to do that.
Right.
Because he still wants to be in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. You still want to say, hey, I'm in the Hall of Fame.
So
right?
he's trying to leverage the wrong thing.
Right. Just another in the ongoing saga, though. What a mess. The NFL and their former players. Like, even the settlement with brain injuries that they made a few years ago. There's been HBO Real Sports pieces about how they have almost refused to pay out to a lot of people that seem to be deserving of that money. It's ugly. Like, at this point, why would you let your children play football?
I wouldn't.
It's damaging, and they don't care about you.
Annette and I talked about this the other day when we were away for the weekend, and we were just, like you kind of start daydreaming about like, oh, when we have kids, and I wonder what they're going to be into. I wonder what they're going to be good at. Are they going to like sports? Are they going to be into sports? What if they want to play football? What are we going to do? What are we going to say? And I remember I was just like, I just hope that we have kids that are really good at non-contact sports.
Golf?
Like I want a kid who is a killer tennis player.
Tennis.
Yeah, tennis, golf, track, like
baseball.
track and field, baseball, just the stuff that is not going to kill them.
Yeah, it's not going to make their brain.
I mean,
gravy.
granted, yeah, if you're playing baseball, sure, you can get beamed in the head with a fastball.
Likelihood much less, though.
That, and it's not happening, 20 to 30 times
Sure.
a game.
And initiated by you half the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just what a saga. I don't know if it'll ever end. It's going to be a huge part of the work stoppage in 2 years. Before that, the Kavanaugh hearings for the Supreme Court getting really ugly.
Yeah.
Accusations of sexual misconduct when Kavanaugh was a teenager, and now a couple more accusers from his time at
he was
Yale.
in college. Yeah. It's boy, you know who's sitting at home thinking to themselves, boy, I'm not looking so bad now, was I? Or am I? Is Merrick Garland.
Poor Garland. Couldn't even get a hearing.
He was because that was President Obama's choice to fill the seat on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But since he was nominated, was it like
year of
200? Yeah, like 255 days
Yeah.
before an election. The opposing side basically roadblocked any wouldn't even give him the time of day. Wouldn't even
would not allow the hearing.
give him the hearing. And so they presented us with Mr. Kavanaugh. Seems like he's got some skeletons.
It's going. It went south pretty quick, and now it sounds like there is going to be open hearings
Yeah, I
this
think
week.
like Wednesday, right?
This week with the accuser and him being questioned separately. It's so everything's so contentious leading up to these midterms, which is shaping up to be just a dogfight down to the end.
So if he is, if the source is indeed credible, he can't be nominated, right?
You have to find 3 to 4 GOP senators who are willing to cross the aisle and say that they're not going to vote him in.
And they have to.
Huh.
They have to. I mean, if you don't, then like
You're looking complicit.
yeah.
But-
Well, I mean, the GOP is always standing on the moral ground, the family values.
This is a big win, though,
So-
for GOP if they get 2 justices on the Supreme Court in less than a year.
Yeah.
With Ruth Bader Ginsburg looking like she's been 90 for the last 40 years.
Oh, she'll live forever.
Seems like it. But yeah, so those are coming to a head this week. It feels like news breaking with those every hour.
Yeah, pretty much.
And to lead off this week, Tiger Woods wins the Tour Championship yesterday, Steve. Sunday, led a 5-stroke lead in the final round. You were watching, I'm sure. Sunday Red, Tiger Woods.
Glued to my TV.
How about that, Char? He almost falls apart. Justin Rose, the FedEx Championship on the line there. The playoff race of the golf tournament, Steve. Tiger Woods, second place after all he's been through. coming up that back nine. He gives a bogey, and he's headed to 18. He's got the 3-stroke lead. What a scene heading up that fairway. Can you believe it? Tiger Woods pulling it off the fast
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tour Championship. Tiger
Okay, first on my list, WWE Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, man, that was a bummer of a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
It was ugly. It
I can't wait.
some bad finishes.
Can't wait to hear your full breakdown of it. Next, Vontae Davis.
Boy, what a coward!
The man quit.
I hate it.
He retired at
At
halftime.
half, couldn't even wait another 90 minutes.
Like, he
Walks
couldn't-
out at
He
half.
couldn't have just faked an injury and been like, "Oh man, I think I blew out my knee."
Just say to your team, "Hey, I'm going to bench myself. I just don't have it today,"
Yeah.
and then make your decision after it. But don't just walk out of the locker room at half and never come back.
All right, fine. Not finally. No. Number 3, Toad.
Yeah, that was quite the talking point this week, wasn't it? Stormy Daniels' book. Hopefully this whole thing wasn't made just so she could sell some copies of her book, but that was definitely
And if
a talking
if
point.
it was, hey, good for her.
Job well done, it
You know?
seems, right?
Next, the presidential alert system. Did that
Yeah.
get tested?
Is it supposed to be this week?
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be last week.
Maybe. If it was tested, it didn't work.
I did not get a text from the president.
There's your answer. It didn't work if it was tested.
And finally, Mayweather Pacquiao rematch. I typed McGregor Pacquiao rematch, but that is not something that happened. Apparently, the two ran into each other at some like music festival in
Yeah.
Japan, I think.
Mayweather was sending out messages that it'll be happening by the end of the year. I mean, I'll buy it because I'm a sucker. But
Well, you are the biggest fan of the
Floyd Mayweather,
worst
the
person on earth.
undisputed champion of every weight division he's fought in, and 51-0, right? That's what you're saying?
Right, the garbage human
Undefeated,
who
51-0, never
advocates
lost,
beating
hasn't
women.
hasn't been beaten by anybody.
Yeah.
Beat Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm not happy about it. At this point, I wish he would just stay retired. Especially with a fight that it's not like it's an up-and-coming fighter. It's the most clear money grab of all time.
Sure.
With Pacquiao, who is a shell of what he used to be, and is losing his trainer, who he's had forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it doesn't have great optics to this.
All right, before that, the presidential alert system. Apparently, there's some new system in place where the president can text us all.
Yeah, in times of emergency.
Can't imagine that'll be abused at all.
I mean, it hasn't yet. So why would you assume, Steve, that it's just going to go south any day now? What could possibly happen that we would need to be alerted about?
I look forward to getting the texts, no doubt in all caps.
Hey,
Hashtag fake news on the end of
right. There's an alert. Don't read. Don't
CNN.com.
read the New York Times today.
The failing New York Times.
Unbelievable.
What world do we live in?
Yeah, that's a crazy system. I'd be curious to see if it gets utilized and when, and if there's abuse.
Well, because the EAS, the alert system, has never worked. Like, not even once has that ever worked. And complete disaster, complete waste of money. So they finally getting up with the times. Just gonna send everyone a text.
Yeah.
Straight from the prez. Now, does he just have like an app on his phone where he just goes on there? And says,
God.
Or does he have to go into some bunker?
It's got to
Or
be
like-
press the codes
or like
and use your thumbprint.
Like two keys get turned at the same
Yeah.
time, and
Yeah.
a trunk opens up with a phone in it that he can.
This feels like a disaster.
Yeah. All right. Before that, Toad. Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
Description of the genitalia of
The president.
of our president,
Mm-hmm.
our leader.
I don't know if I wasn't curious about those details. I mean, at this point, it's more curious about this lawsuit situation with her that's going on. But hey, you got to sell your books.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that other than describing the president's nether regions?
Vontae Davis, Buffalo Bills. What position was he?
Cornerback. Pretty good cornerback in his earlier years. Wasn't terrible. In his later years, was starting and decided at halftime of the Buffalo Bills game.
He wasn't terrible. He was a starting NFL player.
Yeah, it was.
Granted, it was for the Bills.
It's not a way you want to go out, though, right? I mean,
he says he has no regrets, though.
He should. I mean, that's the most disrespectful way to do anything. And I'm not raw guy. Hey, look out for yourself. But like I said, at least pull yourself out. Say, hey, I don't have it today. I don't feel good. Whatever. And then at the end of the game, tell your team, hey guys, I can't do this anymore. I have to step away.
Injury.
Right?
Say you got like a bad cramp or something.
It's just a stupid. I mean, it makes him look bad in the eyes of pretty much every former player out there.
Yeah.
Hey, it makes for a good story, right? Yeah, no, I mean, because he had his stuff gone before most players were even in the locker room at half.
That's crazy.
And he didn't say a word to anybody until the coach said, yeah, he just retired. What do you mean? He walked out? No, he said he's done for his career. Baffling.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I don't blame anybody for walking away from the game of football because, as we talked about, it's really bad for your health. Yeah. But the way he did that,
yeah,
he's a little bit to be desired. No ceremony for him, I don't think. I don't think he's going to be getting a statue in Buffalo anytime soon.
Probably not. And finally, WWE Hell in a Cell, the big pay-per-view. That's
a lot going on there, Steve. A couple Hell in a Cell matchups. Now, what nobody expected to happen, happened. You got Braun Strowman cashing in Money in the Bank for the main event. Hell in a Cell, him, Roman Reigns, the anointed next guy of WWE. Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, getting the cell. Who comes back? What did you expect, Steve?
Oh, Hulk.
Not this. Brock Lesnar's music hits, and he's not going to take no for an... Yes, the MMA fighter. He comes down. He's not going to take no for an answer. They're in a cell, Steve. Those two wrestlers are protected. Not until Brock Lesnar kicks the door down and walks into Hell in a Cell, hits them both with his finisher, and just when you're looking for a satisfying conclusion to the pay-per-view, they just decide...
Oh, God, how will I ever know what happened?
The world waits.
All right. A lot covered this week. Yeah, not really.
Too much.
We're going to PenguinCon.
PenguinCon. WicCon, yeah.
Billboard coming soon, possibly spring.
It better be the spring.
APS 4.0 beginning. Construction beginning very soon.
This was a big news day.
It was. Brought back 2 minutes of awkward conversation. Thank you very much to Carl. Once again for listening to the podcast, taking part in 2 minutes of awkward conversation. You want to go over real quick again how somebody can...
Yeah, please leave your reviews, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, whatever you listen to this podcast on. Try to leave us a review, 5 stars if you'd be so kind. Send us a screenshot of that to Twitter, Facebook, whatever avenue works for you on social media. We can put you on the list for 2 minutes of awkward conversation like Carl today so we can have a talk with you.
Also go to steveandkyle.com, steveandkyle.com for merch if you want to get some of that, or redbubble.com/people/steveandkyle.
Yep.
A bunch of designs were uploaded in the last couple of weeks, so you can check all of that out. We're going to be recording another episode this week, which will eventually be released at some point.
TBD. But this is 3 episodes in 6 days, so excuse light content for a little bit going forward.
Yeah, the next one, that one, you'll know it when you hear it. It'll sound a little bit...
It will be obvious.
Different than all the other ones. You can follow us on Twitter at Steve and Kyle, Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. You can download, subscribe, and review the show, like Kyle was saying. iTunes, Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, steveandkyle.com. And we will talk to you next week.